Hey guys, this is Martin, and this is my first attempt to basically do a review of new role-playing games that I've tried running. Considering I am very new to running role-playing games, although I've got some experience playing them, um, this should be interesting. I'm doing uh, running role-playing games for people uh, in Woodbury, New Jersey, for every 3 Saturdays or so, and just trying out a new role-playing game. And I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with them and how it went on here. So the first game that I got to run was Monsterhearts 2 by Avery Alder, and it might be my favorite game currently out there. It's got some issues, not issues, it's got some elements that a lot of people are uncomfortable with, but I really just enjoy how it all works together. Um, so I'm really hoping that I get to play it a lot more. Um, and I apologize for all the umming. I'm still getting used to all this, and my script is rather tinier than it should be. So yes, I'm doing RPG flights, and for Monsterhearts 2, which is a game about the messy lives of teenage monsters, uh, I was lucky to get two people to come for the game, and they played the Infernal, who is someone who makes a deal with a dark power, or many deals with a dark power, and the Hollow, who is an artificial being. In this case, they kind of did like a clone, kind of, sort of, maybe Frankenstein monster-ish creature. Um, More clone leaning, though. Um, and, okay, so some points about the game. Character creation is quick, but it takes longer than you might think. I do think it's one of the most fun parts of the game, though, and it's easy and pretty straightforward for new players. Um, People used to other kinds of character sheets, though, might find the skin playbooks in Monsterhearts 2 a bit confusing because they're so different. And some of the font can be a little weird, maybe. Then I thought that you could only play it with 3 players, so I was really worried when only 2 came and one person canceled it at the last minute. So I didn't have the number of players I was expecting. But 2-player games can be done, and it is a little tricky to find reasons for the characters to interact. So maybe just planning some NPC characters to link together. The player NPC player links can be really important there. It also probably would help more in the future if I focus the setting in a smaller span. I went ahead and did a full high school day and evening with a party and stuff. And while that's great if you have longer time, I only had about 3 hours total for character creation and everything. And it probably could have been better had I focused on maybe the end of the day instead of the beginning. Let's see. The gender and asexual role in the game were really well received by the players, so props to Avery Alder for that. My friend John Stavropoulos, apologize, John, I almost certainly butchered your name there. has shared his X card and the O card option, and I used both as well as some images of NPCs that he shared, and those NPC images in particular were incredibly popular. So just like printing out images of like model faces and stuff can probably be pretty handy for a lot of different games. You know? The dice rolls were easy to understand in Monsterhearts 2. I would recommend rereading the NPC, the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, the Dungeon Master or Games Master character, reactions before play to prep. Try to come up with some uses for each in response to each move. That might be a little more work than people are interested in for Monsterhearts 2, which is just kind of designed to be set up in quick and easy for everyone, and that's the appeal as well. But just practicing thinking about how you might respond to different moves with the different MC responses, reactions would be handy. Make sure you have pencils and erasers ready. I did not. Most of mine were too ground down, so I had to run over and use the pencil sharpener, and that took up more time than it should have. And that was just me not being prepared. Encourage the conversation. Monsterhearts 2 and a lot of the Powered by the Apocalypse games in that group is really focused on a conversation between all the players, including the MC. That's a little trickier with some new players, just because they're trying to absorb everything. But work on the conversation part as opposed to just talking at them. And again, try to keep the story feral rather than pushing it to where you want to go. Sometimes, especially in Monsterhearts 2, especially when the Infernal is involved, I've found that tends to lead to huge rifts that suck up everything just because the game is coming to an end. And that's probably not the best way to do the story. Probably better to develop things and leave it messy as opposed to leave it in some horrible abyss. So, as I mentioned, the X cards were handy to have, just in case, but I admit I need a lot more practice with them. I'm still not used to using them, and because I'm not used to using them, I don't think the other players did as much. And when you're dealing with sensitive and complex issues that people have strong feelings about and that might be triggering or uncomfortable for people, it is really worth practicing the X card a bit. I'm kind of tempted to bring them to like my next Pathfinder game and suggest them. I don't think that would go over very well, but there's some bards and other social classes that probably could be X-carded. Also, using the O card and just kind of getting used to holding up a card and using it is probably a good idea and helpful, and just saying, hey, I love that, let's see more of it. Let's see. Like I said, I started too early in the fictional school day. We started with like homeroom in the morning, and then went through various classes, although with only 2 of them that was still a little weird. And we really did get to develop some of the NPC characters and the players' reactions to them. But I don't think I think we lost the opportunity to explore some of the more interesting story aspects. So it probably would have been better to do homeroom at the end of the day instead, and just go through the party and everything like that, and give the characters more time to be free to do things rather than kind of making them go through school. Let's see. Something that I particularly need to work on. I really tend to like storytelling and just coming up with ideas and stuff, and I get really excited about it. And this game is really great for that. But I'm also not very good at putting myself in other people's shoes and realizing that not everyone is in a position to do that at any particular moment. Players might be tired or have difficulty imagining and being creative with a storytelling game, or they might have come prepared to learn and absorb, as I said, the information about the game, and or just want to vent their frustration and stress and attack things and roll dice, which is a noble goal in and of itself. But they might not then be prepared to come up with the name of the school and the mascot and the school bully and what the teachers are like and all that kind of stuff. That can be a lot to kind of put on students and putting them on the spot. So I might need to work just on having some suggestions on hand for myself to use if I feel like they're getting overwhelmed and just want to get to playing or get to what they consider playing. And so that's kind of important. What else? Although warning them ahead of time that this is going to be a imagination heavy game might be handy as well. So that's actually about everything about this game that I want to share. It was fun, and the other players both seem to enjoy it. So yes, I'm Martin. I'm running RPG Flight one-shots at the Nerd Mall at Polsky's in Woodbury, New Jersey. This next Saturday, which is I think the 27th. Yes, the 27th at noon, I will be running Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition. And that's, April 27th, 2019. From noon until 3. Come out if you'd like to play superheroes, and join the Facebook event page, which I will try and link below. And in the comments below, please suggest other role-playing games we should play, and if I have them, I'll add them to the list. So thank you, and hope you enjoyed this and that was helpful, and I look forward to playing games with you all. Bye.